Hey, it's Ubu, and today we're doing something a little different. I usually play indie horror games if you're not familiar with my channel, and I like to talk about them and give them a final judgment rating at the end of the videos. But in this video today, I wanted to discuss Silent Hill Ascension and kind of talk about what it is and maybe what people might not understand about it. And also, I'm going to touch on some of the new other Silent Hill games that were announced as well last year at the Silent Hill Transmission. And this is different for me. I don't usually do discussion videos, but I really wanted to do this. I thought it'd be kind of fun just to sit and chat about something that I'm interested in and been wondering about for a while. And I really like to talk. So, yeah, I thought this was an opportunity to maybe do something different for my audience and for people who are new to my channel. Maybe do this every once in a while about a particular game or maybe even game news. I'm not one to do things like skill up in them or they do like, oh, this week in gaming or whatever, but things related to something I'm interested in like Silent Hill and stuff like that. I could just sit down and talk about it and just hang out. If you're interested in something like that, let me know. And I'll continue doing them. I do have another part of my Silent Hill 2 Enhanced Edition playthrough coming up real soon. Probably by next Monday, you'll see it. But today, we're just going to relax and talk about this because just recently, as you can see on my screen, Silent Hill Ascension just announced their release of October 31st, which ironically, it's Halloween. Oh, great release date choice. Anyways, yeah, and since this game has been announced, game I call it, I've been really perplexed by like what it really is. Because we haven't had a mainline Silent Hill game in like 11 years, which is like whatever. And I wanted to preface my video also by saying like I'm not one of those Silent Hill fans that's like a doomer about everything. However, you will be hearing my honest thoughts in my discussion here. I don't have like a mainstream like everything's fine kind of opinion either because, my thoughts are my own and I don't care if, people don't like them, if that makes sense. Like the point of this video is just to like have a discussion, like an honest one. Like there's no need to like freak out or get angry in the comments at me or anything like that. Like if you have something to say, try to make it constructive and, we can chat about it or just share your thoughts or no big deal. I'm just trying to say like we're just here to chill and talk about this, but I do have like when someone's like passionate about something, I would say that it's completely normal to be like critical of it because that shows it really shows you care. Like if you're not critical of things that obviously have like a low standard, like if you lower your standards too much, like there's no quality assurance with the products you get anymore, in my opinion. And we've been seeing a lot of that nowadays where people just like really like mediocre kind of um cliche sort of things nowadays. Just done to death where it's like but everyone's like, I love it. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling, but you gotta have a little bit of you gotta be critical of stuff you enjoy. If it's not what you really want it to be, like it's totally normal to have an opinion on it, especially if it's one that might be perceived as negative. But yeah, my that's not really the point of my video today, is what I'm trying to say. But anyways, um, yeah, I've been looking forward to a new Silent Hill game for a while because I don't know, it's just a great story. And even though we haven't had a mainline game in 11 years, which I believe the last mainline game was Downpour, and if I'm wrong about that, correct me please. Because like Shattered Memories that came after that isn't it's like its own canon and stuff, so I don't know, it's kind of confusing. There's like 9 Silent Hill games or even more if you count all the mobile crap or whatever has come out. And also Dead by Daylight has gotten some content, Silent Hill content, which is weird, but kind of cool. Anyways, yeah, so with Silent Hill Ascension, it seems as though it's the game they're pushing out first, which I find interesting since Konami hasn't released a Silent Hill game in forever, and they're deciding to lead with this one. And I'm gonna play this trailer or like a date announcement for us, so you can kind of get an idea of the most recent information on it, Silent Hill Ascension. And we'll go through that. I might pause it a couple times, even though it's only 2 minutes, just to make some points when he's talking. So we'll play it now.
Hello, my name is Jacob Navoke. I'm the CEO at Genvid and executive producer of Silent Hill Ascension. You saw me last year at the Silent Hill Transmission event, where I gave you a first glimpse at Silent Hill Ascension, a Genvid interactive streaming series. I'm excited to announce that Silent Hill Ascension will have its...
So he called it an interactive series. So I've been like, and maybe I shouldn't be so confused on this, but I've been really wondering what the heck this even is for a while. And I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily... I guess you could blame the marketing a little bit, but I don't know. I've sat around and thought about it for a while where I'm like, so anyways, I'll just let him continue.
World premiere on Halloween night, October 31st at 9...
Yeah, so world premiere. It's not saying like launch, as you normally like typical vernacular you would hear with a game launch. It's a premiere. So we'll see what he says next.
p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time. I use the phrase world premiere intentionally because Silent Hill Ascension is not a game.
Yeah, it's not a game. Okay, I was waiting for that for the longest time, honestly, like confirmation. Because if you look at old articles, it's been a year since the transmission. If you look at articles that people are saying like Silent Hill games announced, they always say Ascension is a game, and maybe they just didn't know enough at the time either because it was like fresh information. But this is like the first time that I've heard someone say that it's not a game, but it seems as though it was like almost advertised as one for the longest time. Because it's like, oh, all the Silent Hill games announced, but like this isn't a game. It's like an interactive series, like live stream thing, which I'll let him continue and then I'll talk some more.
It's a streaming series where you, the audience, participate live to determine what happens. You and the rest of the community will decide the fate of its characters. On October 31st, you'll be able to participate in Silent Hill Ascension the same way that you participate in any streaming series.
Okay, so like he said, it's an interactive series where us, the audience, gets to interact with the choices made. I guess it's like a live stream. Like he said, it'll be like any other live stream that you watch. I just don't get that. Like, I just find it to be an odd choice for a Silent Hill IP. And I will say that it has been 11 years since we've gotten any Silent Hill content. Really. Other than like Dead by Daylight, whatever. But I haven't played that game. But my point being of like knowing what your standards are is really important because people have said a lot that I've read in comments of like, oh, well, I'm just glad to be getting Silent Hill. Yeah, well, I mean, it's like, just say you really want pizza and someone gives you a moldy pizza and you're like, man, I just really wanted pizza. I don't care. That's kind of my point with my little rambling earlier, just to clarify that. Yeah, so interactive series that you make choices on like you would any live, like it would be like a live stream. So let's hear what else he has to say.
On your browser, just go to Ascension.com. And on your mobile devices, you'll be able to install the app from Google Play and the Apple App Store. Pre-install the apps now so that you're ready to go on October 31st.
Okay, another thing. I'm going to make this 2-minute video last forever. So it says to pre-install. I wonder if I can... I wonder if full screening this would be weird. I think I'll just leave it the way it is. So it says pre-install on the Google App Store or the Google Play Store and the Apple Store. So I've looked on the website, which I'll show in a second, and I don't see like a desktop option for this. And if I'm wrong on that, please let me know. So essentially we're getting like a mobile Silent Hill interactive series. Okay. All right, let's continue.
Go on October 31st. Every day at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, will air new scenes that progress the story. No day is the same as the previous, and the story will unfold over 6 months. If you live in other parts of the world...
You heard that, right? So every day you can tune in to make choices. Not one day is the same. Like every day, I guess the story will be different. We're all making choices every day, and the story will unfold over 6 months. Okay. All right.
world where you're busy and you can't make it there live, it's easy to catch up on video on demand. You can watch it at Ascension.com or in the mobile Ascension streaming apps. You and the rest of the community start impacting the story each day through decisions. There are many different ways that the story can end, and even we, the creators, don't know what will happen. Every decision, every day that the story changes, gets combined into an episode each week. That episode is the sum of the community's interactions with Silent Hill Ascension. In other words, just by participating, you're making history.
Excuse me. So it sounds like he said, so every day you make a choice, and I made a reply in this tweet here yesterday. Every day you make a choice. So every week will end up being an episode, which then I guess you can go back per week and watch the culmination of all of your choices in that week create like a unique episode, I assume. So you do that every week for 6 months, which is like 26 weeks or something, which is because I think there's 52 weeks in a year. Whatever. I might have that math like so screwed up, but divide 52 and by 2, and that's how many episodes there'll be. I guess like 20 something episodes. But like, if every episode consists of 7 days worth of choices, like how long is each episode? Like 7 hours? An hour? So like I went on in my tweet and I kind of made those points about the day to week to month ratio. And I was like, so like after a certain amount of choices are made in a day, does the progress of the episode just stop? Like, how does the progress work? Or do you, like, as you're watching it, like a poll will pop up and say, like, when something is happening, and you're like, oh, what should this character do? So everyone presses A or whatever, and it polls it, and it's like, well, 57% of the player base or watchers, viewers, or whatever said to do this. So the character will then do that. And then it moves on. But eventually there has to be like a stopping point, right? Like in the day. And I just wonder how long that takes. Like how much time as a viewer are we investing in this every day? Or at least, I know they're not, I guess they expect us to do that every day. But at the same time, that's why they mentioned, well, if you can't make it with work or whatever, you're busy, then you can catch up with what's happened through VODs, which obviously means you can't then make choices of what's already happened, but then you can see like what choices were made all the way up to now, which I guess that's relevant because eventually when the week's over, you have an episode. So there's like no going back. Man, that sounds really unsustainable for some reason. I don't know. I'll collaborate or, be more specific here in a second. I don't know what I'm saying.
By the end of Silent Hill Ascension, you, the audience, will have made a horror television series. We have other exciting partnerships that we'll be announcing soon. We'll also be revealing more of the story, how the event works, how you'll be able to help the characters each day through puzzles, different QuickTime events that are going to happen live over the stream, our social features, and much more.
Okay, he did say that there will be more information on how the event works, but then he mentioned that there will be puzzles and QuickTime events, which I don't know if people understand how the internet works sometimes, but like if I'm watching a live stream and there's a QuickTime event and something I'm watching and I'm able to interact with it, isn't there gonna be a delay? I'm not trying to tear this apart. I'm really genuinely wondering how, if I'm sitting in my chair interacting with this thing that's been hyped up for over a year, almost a year at this point, how will it be as an experience? Will it be worth the wait of a year to be like, yay? And then it's like, what? I'm just trying to genuinely figure this out and more or less voice my thoughts so that anyone who watches this and is interested can have a discussion with me. Leave whatever you're thinking in the comments or what you assume will happen. What are your expectations? Things like that. Like that's really the point of my video. But I really had to make a video so I could just talk about it out loud and get some feedback so I could. I don't know. I just want to talk about it. So yeah, it's very confusing. I want to hear that part. I think again. Excuse me, my throat. I'm gonna keep clearing my throat.
Soon. We'll also be revealing more of the story, how the event works, how you'll be able to help the characters each day through puzzles, different QuickTime events that are going to happen live over the stream, our social features, and much more.
Social features, QuickTime events, puzzles. I like the idea of trying to solve puzzles together. But yeah, we'll just let this run out and then I'll continue my thoughts.
See you there.
See you there. Yeah, live world premiere, and then you have a QR code and all this stuff here. All right, well, very interesting, I would say. So more or less, I guess my concern with Silent Hill Ascension is that it's not the right starting point to more or less revitalize the franchise. And I could be totally wrong. It might go off with a hitch and work great, and everybody be really into it and really enjoy it. However, this being an internet involved like live stream event where anybody and everybody can come in and make choices for it, it's bound to be ruined by trolls. And I hope not. Like I don't discuss, or like my intention of making a discussion video like this would never be to like necessarily want to see something fail or to belittle its work that's put into it, because I try to really appreciate people's work and everything put into these sort of projects, because I'm sure it is a lot of work and it's really difficult, and I don't know how much of that is like just PR and marketing and that's why it takes so long, or if it really is like, I'm sure there's some wiggle room on how much creativity and how much effort something like this takes. I'm sure it also being a live stream thing that you expect people to interact with can be hard to manage. Like I'm sure they might have moderators set up, somebody watching what's going on, and there might not be any chat at all or anything like that. It's only you can interact with the polls or choices that are then brought up for the characters while you're watching, which I think would be a really smart approach. I don't think there should be any chat whatsoever for this, because I think it would just be trolled and just like screwed up from the get-go. And I hope that doesn't happen where a scenario like that. I just hope they don't have chat, and the only thing you can do is interact with choices. I don't know. It's really one of my biggest I don't know, fears of this game is just having it be trolled to the point where it's not taken seriously. And a lot of people already don't like the idea of it. Which is kind of unfortunate, but I don't know. I think they would have been a little bit more wise to start bringing back Silent Hill with a game that's a little bit more relevant. And I'm also going to say I agree with the people that say, well, they like it because it's different, which I think is a fair point. But like I said, you shouldn't just be like, well, it's different, therefore it's good. And I know this hasn't come out yet, so I'm just sort of voicing my potential outcomes that I'm worried about. And this video is very like spontaneous, and I'm kind of rambling. Sorry about that, but I want that kind of style, like my honest sort of reaction to these things. I want, that's my video. That's why I'm rambling. So I guess we can read some of the comments. So this is my comment. So it's like, so we make choices every day, every week is a complete episode, and we do that for 6 months. I assume the experience pauses for choices to be polled, and after a certain amount of progress is made, does it just end for the day? How much time do we spend per day making choices? I thought those are like good questions, in my opinion. And then I said, moreover, I'm sure catching up using VODs means you missed out on those choices, but you can see what's happened. I'm just trying to map all this out in my head. At least he officially said it's not a game, which I was a big point for me for some reason. But this person's like, "What's Silent Hill?" And then I'm excited. And then some people are complaining that in Sweden it starts at 3 a.m. So they're like, I was at least hoping for late evening, not in the middle of the night. um, and then looking forward to seeing the post-mortem after it dies in a week and a half. See, like, that's the kind of thing where they could be right. However, there's this terrible, like, predisposed negativity towards a lot of things nowadays where it's like, well, I personally don't think it'll succeed, so it's going to fail in 3 weeks or whatever. I don't know, dude. I don't know about that. People are really wanting something different. This is different, and it's Silent Hill, so it might work for a while. I don't know about 6 months, but yeah, we'll see. I'm sure there's some very passionate people that'll stick through it all the way to the end, but I don't even know if I'm really that interested in even trying it. But I guess we'll see when we get there. I might try to jump into it. If it's not on desktop, I don't really have means of recording it, or I could probably do another discussion video after trying it. I'll think about that for a little while. This person says, only have marketing experience, but wow. I feel like the marketing reach of about this has been garbage. And that's somewhat true. Because like I said, just me personally, I've been just wondering what it even is. And it's been a year. Okay. I'm not saying this just announced a couple weeks ago. It's been literally almost a year. So I would say some of the marketing probably could have been better, but in the video we watched, he did say that there's more information coming soon, but if it's coming out October 31st, man, you've got to have this stuff out already, in my opinion. You got to let people know what to expect, what they've been waiting a year for. That's just my point. I'm just saying. This person says, I like this comment, having the collective fandom control the story of Silent Hill, good luck with that. Yeah. So, I don't want to read too many of those. There was something I was going to show you, this website for Ascension, which is very interesting. Excuse me. There's a link here under this video, under this post that you can click on, and it'll take you here, which is ascension.com. And it just says Silent Hill Ascension premieres October 31st. Pre-install for free now, which I did on my phone, where I like pre-registered or something, it says. So then there's the QR code, and then it says, blah, blah, blah. But, so like if I click this X off, see, this almost looks like there's just like a trailer and stuff playing, and this is, yeah, Bad Robot is involved. GenVid and Behavior are the developers. That's really all it shows on here. And then if you click pre-install now, so I haven't actually like clicked on one of these, so I'm going to do that. Okay. So maybe you can do it on desktop then. I see. Okay. Well, I'm learning. All right, I'm learning. So if I click pre-register, you're pre-registered for this game. We'll notify you when Silent Hill Ascension is available for your device. Sorry. Okay. So then there's all the trailers and stuff or whatever. New Silent Hill monsters. Well, I would hope so. It's a new game. Can't miss live scenes daily. Redemption, suffering, damnation. It's all a bit cliche, in my opinion. And then this says, shape Silent Hill canon forever, which would mean the canon of the event. Like, this has no connection to the other games. So, some of the wording, I think, is a bit strange. And these are nitpicks, I know, but... GenVid Interactive Series. All right, I'm just kind of reading through some of this if you haven't seen this yet. So you can pre-register to be among the first with the blah, blah, blah for free. Okay, so 31st. This is updated 4 days ago. I find it interesting. Yeah, and that's really all it says. you see all this imagery like snow, and there's like a big monster and the reflection. That's kind of cool. And then I noticed back in the transmission, this character here, where it says Shape Silent Hill Canon Forever, the big silhouette with the staff, is like some sort of reoccurring character that you'll see, I think, throughout the event. I forget what they called him, but it's like a unique name, like the Watcher or some crap like that. Okay, so maybe we can get it on desktop then, because that's the first time I've seen that. I didn't really click all this stuff last night. I was tired. But I wanted to go over the transmission itself. This is from radiotimes.com. This is, I think, an article literally from last year, so it's kind of dated. A lot of these websites have so many ads on them. I was just trying to find one that wasn't just so ridiculous to look at. But anyways, yeah, this says, during a Silent Hill transmission live stream, Konami revealed that there are 3 new Silent Hill games being made, including a remake of a fan favorite. So I believe they got that correct. I don't know. Anyways, ever since the high-profile cancellation of Silent Hills and PT back in 2015, which I think stands for Playable Teaser. I read another article where they called it Playable Trailer, but that doesn't make any sense. I think it's Playable Teaser. Silent Hill fans have been anything but silent. We've had petitions with nearly 200,000 signatures asking for the studio to uncancel the game. PT, that is. Anger online about the fact that the last full release in the series was in 2012, which is Downpour, and new rumors every day regarding the future of the franchise. Yeah, Silent Hill fans, or I should say, the overarching Silent Hill community, whoever that may involve, love their rumors. Holy crap, dude. Y'all need to chill out with that stuff. Rumors are just so rampant nowadays. Like, as soon as I see someone say, like, oh, this is a rumor, I just ignore it. I'm like, I don't care. I want confirmation. That's just the way my brain works. That's just how I am. Unless I see it from the mouth of the people making something saying, this is confirmed release date, then I don't really care about rumors. I think sometimes rumors can be fun to be like, ooh, what if, they did this? But I don't know. There's way too many of those nowadays. So, of course, we're getting the Silent Hill 2 remake, which I hope to play when it ever comes out. And this is kind of my point earlier about what they should have possibly led with on, like, bringing back Silent Hill in the franchise. I don't even really understand why they started with Silent Hill 2 as the first thing to remake. And, of course, the answers will probably be, well, it's the most popular game, it's the one that people like the most, and it's one of my favorites. It's probably my favorite Silent Hill game. Like, so I understand that. I just am talking on like a marketing point, because the game preservation we have nowadays is abysmal. Like, finding Silent Hill, like, officially the game to be able to play it on like PlayStation 1 or something is like nigh impossible without dropping like hundreds of dollars, which I think is ridiculous. I think there are some consoles that you can play some Silent Hill games on, like the PS3, PS4 or something has them in their shop. I know GOG.com has Silent Hill 4, I think, maybe some others. And I play Silent Hill 2 Enhanced Edition, but you have to kind of go through some hoops to get a CD key for it and stuff, which I will not go into. It's just kind of a pain in the ass to play really any of these games on like modern, up-to-date consoles. Like, I think there might be a couple games on Steam, but the Steam ports are, I've heard, really bad. So I just find it strange that they're like, let's go with Silent Hill 2 first to remake. And they chose Bloober Team, which does not have a great track record for the most part. Anyways, as you can see, Silent Hill 2 is getting a full remake developed by Bloober Team, the Polish development studio behind The Medium, which a lot of people didn't like, which is fine. PS5 console exclusive. Okay, the Silent Hill 2 remake will also be playable on PC. Return to the world of Jane Sunderland and re-experience the classic all over again in its new fancy 4K Unreal Engine 5 recreation. No release date was confirmed. Yeah, of course not. Yeah, I'm kind of tired of the obsession with having the most realistic graphics ever. The PC specs on the Steam version are not great, in my opinion. They're already slightly more than what my computer can supposedly handle. I still plan on trying the game, but I might wait for it to release and see how people's performance is with it first. I really try to look at stuff like that I'm curious about. Also, I really just think Silent Hill, like remaking the first game, would have been a lot more impactful because you're like kind of like how Resident Evil did the weird thing where it's like we're gonna remake Resident Evil 2 and then 3 and then 4, but the remake of the first Resident Evil was like on GameCube a long time ago, which I think is fine the way it is. But I don't know, because I think it would have been a really good entry point for people to play Silent Hill for the first time, is to start from the very beginning of a new, updated, modern version of it. Because the first game, even though it is really, really cool, is a bit dated. Not in a terrible way, but I'm just saying, if you're wanting a modern audience to play a game like Silent Hill, they almost have no access to the original unless they go to a stupid estate sale somewhere and happen to find it, or some used game shop that has it for $250 or something because, oh, it's cool or whatever. And then you have to get a PlayStation 1 and blah blah blah. You know what I'm trying to say? It's just, you get too many hoops to jump through. Not everyone is capable of doing that. A lot of people will be a lot better off being like, oh, I can just buy the game for $60 and play it on my computer. Like a brand new version of it. I don't know. Anyways, I've ranted about that enough, I think. But yeah, I hope it does well though, but it's a bit concerning with Bloober Team developing it. But anyways, we have Silent Hill Townfall, which is also, I think, one of the more interesting looking ones. It's with Annapurna Interactive, who most recently brought us hits like Stray and Neon White. And indie developer No Code Studios, who develops Stories Untold, Silent Hill Townfall was announced. Little is known about the game other than its creepy teaser trailer shown above. There's no confirmed release date or platforms. Yeah, the trailer is excellent. It's very strange. It might be more of a narrative-based game, in my opinion. I could be totally wrong, but I like they're very mysterious about what it is. There's like literally no more news on Silent Hill 2, no more news on Townfall. And then there's Silent Hill F, which is another one that people are highly anticipating because of the trailer. And Silent Hill F is a brand new Silent Hill game that's been set in 1960s Japan, which I think is a cool setting. It appears to be a new survival horror entry based on its teaser above, but time will tell on this front. It's written by Ryukishi07. Ryukishi, I hope I'm saying that right, who's known for murder mystery and horror visual novels. No release date or platforms have been confirmed for this one. And I know this is an old article, but this information is still relevant. There is no more news on any of these games except for Ascension, which is not a game. So Silent Hill F, being a set in Japan, has a lot of potential, I think, to be interesting. The trailer is very chilling. I won't be playing any of these trailers. You can go look them up. They're real easy to find on YouTube. Yeah, and then Silent Hill Ascension, which we've already been over. And then there's Return to Silent Hill, which is a movie, which I thought was cool to see announced, which is Christoph Gans back directing a brand new Silent Hill film. The movie is titled Return to Silent Hill and is a sequel to his previous Silent Hill movie in 2006. Return to Silent Hill is based on Silent Hill 2 and is an early development. No release date has been confirmed. And I've seen some updates on casting and things of that nature, but like almost all the articles I think are in a different language because he is a Frenchman, I believe, which is really cool. And I think it's interesting that a Frenchman is making a movie for Western audiences based on a Japanese-made horror game. I always found that to be like a strange but really cool like collection of cultures to like make something for everybody kind of thing, which I think is cool. That's just the way I think about it. And I actually like the Silent Hill movie, the 2006 one. It has some problems. Like the opening scene with the girl yelling Silent Hill, like it's real cringy at the start, but the atmosphere, like once they get to the town and sort of the build up to it, where she's like driving away from the cop, and I don't want to spoil it if you hadn't seen it, but the atmosphere of the town and their like kind of spin on it with it being like ash instead of like snow, I think it's really great. I think even the monster design is really great. And there's some pretty gnarly, gory moments, like extremely over the top at the end of the movie, which might be a little too much, but Overall, I liked the movie, even with its faults, in my opinion. It's not a perfect movie, but I think it's an enjoyable movie because Silent Hill Revelations movie is awful, in my opinion. That movie is just so bad. And people like that movie, I think. I don't know. I mean, if you like any of this stuff and you're really positive and like you think I'm being crazy about some of my points, I think that's totally fine. Like I said, I'm just more or less letting my brain just kind of like spew out everything I've been thinking about related to the franchise. Um, yeah, it's very fascinating to see just their approach to how to bring all of these games to the front and to start with an interactive um, live stream thing. I just find really out of touch with what people have been wanting. I don't know. I feel like that happens where they're trying to test the market for things and try to understand like if people like it or not. But I feel like they go through way too much trouble to make something people don't like. And then they go, oh, people didn't like that, so we won't do that again, at least for now, and then we'll try again later. I don't know. I don't know what their motive is with just kind of going off on doing a live stream event. I just don't quite understand that personally. And maybe it's not that big a deal, which is fine too. But anyways, I don't really know what else I have to say about any of this. I am a optimistic person for the most part. Um, and I am one of those that would admittedly say, well, I just want to play Silent Hill, so I'm happy with whatever we get. However, I'm happy that we're getting new Silent Hill things because it's making the name more relevant again, even though it's kind of always been relevant. But it's getting it back out in the market. So I'm not going to just dismiss getting bad quality from it, though. Like, I'm happy that it's happening, but once I see it come out, these things, whatever they are, and they don't like hold up to what I think they should be, which isn't perfection. I don't expect perfection from really anybody. But I don't know, man. Konami, I don't want to go on a rant, but we just, most of us just want to play a well made, true to the theme, like core Silent Hill game that's made with passion, that's made well, that everyone can play. I think just there's a lot of strange sort of PR associated with these games for some reason because Konami is just a very odd company. They almost always miss the mark when it comes to like remakes and stuff. So let's just hope this time around, and I am hopeful that these things will turn out enjoyable and interesting, especially Townfall and Silent Hill F, and even the Silent Hill 2 remake. I hope they all do really well. Ascension is its own thing. It's not even a game, which I've said many times. I don't know. I'm hopeful that it will get people maybe into the franchise, but it looks so out of left field in its monster design and stuff that I'm not sure how people will react to it, to be honest. So, but all I will say is that with these things and even Ascension, is try not to just like throw hatred towards them because I just don't find it constructive. Like, we can all be, gamers or whatever you want to call a community of Silent Hill fans or whatever, or just a fan of horror in general, but you've got to have like a set, like, even though you have to have like a quality standard, you need to be like a little realistic with some of this stuff. Like, it can't, people have weird expectations for games, in my opinion. Like, sometimes, not all times, but I try to take things as they're just as they're announced, like at face value, because that's just how it works. Like, I'm a consumer, so you tell me how something is supposed to be. I guess I'll expect it to be that way. But it's just how I connect to it and what I find interesting about it and what I find to be um, good or bad about it in terms of an artistic standpoint. And if it's cliche or anything like that, which I'm afraid Ascension will be very tropey. Because even in the trailer, it's like face your trauma, which is a huge like plot point for a lot of the Silent Hill games, probably every Silent Hill game, especially Silent Hill 2, where it's like the game is a reflection of a character's trauma, or Silent Hill itself, the town, is a reflection of the character's trauma, which is very fascinating if done well, which is why I think a lot of people gravitate towards Silent Hill 2 because it's so well done. Um, and if you want to watch my playthrough of that, I've done a couple parts now, and I will continue to do a playthrough of that. It was to celebrate 100 subscribers, which is really great. And I hope this video kind of shows a little bit more of my thought processes on things, even though it's very disjointed. I'm sorry. I didn't make a script or anything. I was just wanting to be open and sort of natural and honest with my thoughts on a lot of this. I'm positive. I try to be as positive I can be about things, but once you've been burned by a company like Konami for so long, or any other Western developers that just haven't really made Silent Hill games to the best of their ability, or at least under like budget restrictions or whatever it may be, deadlines, crunching, and all that crap, like it's about time with Silent Hill being revitalized with these announcements that we just finally kind of get a win, is what I'm saying. Like, and I just find it really strange that Ascension is the starting point. Honestly, very weird, very very weird. But yeah, point of my video, like I've said a few times, I hope my viewers and my subscribers that normally watch my videos may get a better feel with just kind of how I am about certain things. And this is just an opinion video. It's not a big deal. Like, you're free to disagree with me, and I encourage anyone that has any thoughts or comments on anything that I've said, or want to add to anything that I've said, to please say so in the comments below, and just be respectful and nice to each other, because I know people can get kind of heated about subjects like this. I just want everyone to be able to share their opinions, but also not feel as though they're going to get shamed for them or anything like that. But just be honest and open, and be nice to each other in the comments. I'd appreciate that. And if you enjoy this style video, maybe I can do a little better with structuring my points next time around. Or if you like the just open chitter chatter kind of thing, just let me know in the comments, and I might do more videos like this in the future. So yeah, I'm hopeful for Silent Hill to do well. I'm not sure what to expect from the other games like Townfall F and Silent Hill 2 Remake. We have not gotten any updates on them at all whatsoever for almost a year. And then they're like, okay, we'll start with Ascension. And kind of, I feel like it's just going to piss people off. And I hope I'm wrong. I want people to just be like, my approach to things is, hey, I didn't like that. But then I just kind of move on. It's not a big deal. I don't like to beat things, like beat a dead horse kind of scenario. I don't know. So yeah, my point of my video is not to sort of fuel the flames of people's dislike for projects like Silent Hill Ascension. And I feel like I'm rambling. Just let me know in the comments below what you think of Silent Hill Ascension, my thoughts on it, and the previous, or the upcoming games to go with it. I'd like to hear your thoughts on all of the things that I touched on in this video, and let me know what you think. And if you enjoy my content, I don't normally do this kind of video, hit subscribe and like and share and comment below. I've said all these things many times over and over again now, but yeah. Well, I hope what I talked about with Silent Hill Ascension was able to clear up a little bit of what to expect and what it is. With my opinions aside on it, if you're interested in it, then you can go to their Twitter or go to ascension.com and do the pre-install thingamajiggy here and figure that out for yourself. And on October 31st, it'll go live and you can go check it out for yourself. And then I'm going to do the same, if I'm not busy, to just get my hands-on opinion on it. And I'll probably make another video on this to sum up my first impressions of it and the event. I think that'll be kind of interesting to check out. Yeah. Well, I think that's all I have to say about it. So, thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.